and Higaonna sensei?
Yes, they're quite different. The Itasu kata needs speed. The techniques need speed. Higaonna sensei's kata require power and have an element of body conditioning. The Hitasu and Higaonna kata look very different.
Is this also how Goju Ryu and Shotokan evolved?
Of course, karate comes from one source. The pioneers of karate took from the old ways and made modern karate from them.
What impressions do you have of the top instructors of that time?
I felt that Funakashi sensei was my grandfather, who lived in Tokyo. That Miyagi sensei was my uncle, who lived in Okinawa. Miyagi sensei was only 1 year older than my father, so I called him uncle.
How did your father and Chojo Miyagi get on?
They had both been students of Higaonna sensei in Okinawa and were therefore what we call kyodai, or brother students.
Did they meet often?
When my father lived in Okinawa, they were always together. After Higaonna sensei died, my father eventually moved to Japan to fulfill his dream. Miyagi sensei stayed in Okinawa because of his family's business. Whenever he came to Osaka, he stayed with us. He and my father would talk about developing and promoting karate late into the night. One day they were talking about kata, and Miyagi sensei told my father that he had made a new kata, and my father greatly approved of this. This kata was Tensho.
Did your father teach Funakoshi sensei?
Teach is the wrong word. My father did not teach Funakashi sensei. They trained and studied together.
Did Funakoshi sensei come to see your father?
He would come to Osaka, and my father would go to Tokyo. They were both from Okinawa, so naturally they would visit each other. My father was a younger man, so he respected Funakashi sensei very much. I think this is how Shotokan technique was born.
When Funakoshi came to see your father, did he come alone?
Sometimes he came alone, but as he got older, I think he brought other instructors with him.
Can you talk about Higaonna Kanyo sensei?
I just know what I have heard about him from my father. Higaonna sensei liked to travel to China, I think because of his business. He learned karate there and later taught it in Okinawa. I heard stories like this.
Did you teach exactly what your father taught you about Shito Ryu karate?
はいそれは当然のことですまだ父が死んで
Yes, of course.
40年ほどですからまだまだその記憶は新しいので
My father passed away only 40 years ago, so my memory is still very
しか
clear.
私は知りませんのでそれを
I
懸命
only
に
know his techniques, and I repeatedly practice what I learned from him.
Can you explain for us what your father taught? The Shito Ryu syllabus, kata, the 5 principles of blocking, and tenshin happo?
当然これは技術面ですから理論はできます。理論
Yes,
があるた
it
め
is our
に
technique
研
and
究
it
され
has
た
a
ものです。
purpose and a reason.
受けの五原則上中下これを
The 5 principles
落
of
とすこ
blocking,
とを落下と言い
jochuge,
流すことを流水と
dropping or lowering the body, is called raka.
天心
Flowing
こう
is
いうのを含め
rusui.
て攻撃を加えるということで
Moving the
これ
body
が受けの五原
evasively
則
is called
それか
tenshin.
ら天心八法これは
All of these are attacking.
今でいう
These are the
フットワーク
5
です。
principles
自
of
分の中
blocking.
心にその位置より斜め後ろ斜め前また前方にと
Tenshin happo is what we now call footwork.
ちょうど8の数字で日本の8という字の
Front, back, angled movement.
足の移動になりますんでこれが天心八法ですね
That's tenshin happo.
How many kata are there in Shito Ryu karate?
62はあるんですが未公開の型もございます
There are 62 kata, but there are some kata that my father didn't teach.
後々本人が作った
I think he was going to make these kata public, but he passed away at the age of 64 years before he could.
64歳で
The kata, which he never made public, I have never showed to anyone.
Compared with other styles of karate, Shito Ryu has a lot of unique kata. Why do you have so many?
そうですねやはり初めて空手を習って糸数
Because Shito Ryu inherited both Itosu Sensei and Higaonna Sensei's kata, it naturally follows that we have more kata than other styles.
Your father created some kata of his own. Can you tell us about them and what inspired him to create them?
そうですねそれは私にもまだ父の腹の中分かりませんけれどもとにかく空手に
He was devoted to karate and wanted to make his own kata and leave them to the next generation.
残したいなという気持ちで作ったんじゃないですか
How many kata did your father create?
はあまだはっきりしたその未公開
If I
の方も
include those
いると
kata he
だいぶあるん
created
でしょうけれど
but did not teach to
現在
students,
公
a
開
great
している
many.
方は
He made 6 of his own kata public during his lifetime.
はい
What are their names?
16
Ju-raku,
地方交渉君
Shiho Koshokun,
松風
Matsukatsu,
青柳
Aoyagi,
新生
Shinsei,
明星です
and Myojo.
はい
Can you tell us about your mother? I understand she had a strong character. How did she influence your father and his life?
そうですね母が常に父のために尽くした
She devoted her life to my father, and with her
そういう
help,
ことで
he became
今日
prominent.
の父の偉大さが完成されたと思います
She was a great woman.
それでそういう母は私は好きでしたで母も死ぬまで私と共に
She lived her whole life with me and
私
passed
の
away finally in
生
my
涯を終え
home.
ました
How did she help your father in his chosen profession?
そうですねやはり父は懸命なる姿を見てまた、父のお母さんの私たちが言いますとおばあさん
She
ですね
understood my father's honesty
偉大さも知っ
and
ておりました
therefore
んで
devoted her life to helping him achieve his goal.
父のことに尽くしました
Please tell us the story about your mother helping your father train when it was raining.
はい。自分の練習の時に、必ず朝起きて
Soon after he woke up in the morning, my father would train on the
雨
makiwara.
が降ってる時私
I
ちょ
saw
う
and
ど
heard
ま
it.
だ小さいもんですから母親の背中におぶさって母が日本の昔の番傘ですね大きな傘
When it rained, she would put me on her back, as I was just an infant, and hold the old-fashioned paper umbrella over my father to shield him from the rain while he pounded the punching board.
見たこともありますし聞いたこともあります
I understand that your mother worked even after your father's death to support him and his work.
そうですねとにかく母と二人でしたからとにかく
Yes, there was only my mother and myself to strive for my father's recognition.
に対して報いるようにで私も母の気持ちを
I understood how she felt. She was great in her own way and also deserves
懸
recognition.
命に努力しました
What do you feel is the true meaning of karate?
そうですね空手の本質とはやはり武道は人を見て作ったものですね
The true meaning of karate is to train for everyday life. You must practice what you believe and believe in what you practice.
型は人なり人は型なりとやはり人間の行動が空手の中にあるというふうに常に言っておりました
You have seen karate growing for about 60 years now. What do you think of this generation of students and instructors?
そうですね一つは今の日本はあまり平和
You know,
的で
Japan is very peaceful now, and people worry a lot about
とにか
appearances.
く世間体というものを考えて成長していってもおります。だけどアメリカの子どもたちまた青年たちの空手の覚え方っていうんですか
In America, the karate students have a lot of power, but they need to learn correct karate.
正しく中身を空手の
Then their technique will grow and mature, and they will become good karate men.
叩き込むともっと上実した空手マンになるんじゃないかと思います。で私はもうそろそろアメリカも
If they are taught properly, they have the potential to become world class.
世界に勝る空手になるんじゃないかと思います。
Karate may soon become an Olympic sport. Do you think the focus of training and therefore karate may change?
そうですね。私は別に否定的なもんではございませんが、ただ選手
I don't particularly mind sport karate, providing it's done well. But in real karate, you study your whole life, not just a few years for a specific competition, like the Olympic Games.
その間にまたと言いますとやっぱり選手は年齢的に衰えがありますので、武道家としてはこれ障害教育の一つですから。長くやってほしい。
I want them to keep on training after their competition days are over.
ルールがございますので、ルールに沿ってスポーツ空手することに対しては別に。
Tournaments are all right as long as the rules are respected and as long as instructors teach it correctly.
What is your view of your father's style of Shito Ryu as it exists today?
そうですね。あまりにも原型からかけ離れたところもございます。それから中身
Some things are different from the original.
立ち方、受け方。
The names of stances and other techniques, for example.
それはおそらく空手を少しかじって外国に出られて、それで少し空手を知っていることで皆から慕われて。 教えたことと思いますんですが、もう少し
I think some of the instructors learned a little karate, then came over here and started teaching.
正しい空手を指導してほしいと思います。でないとそれを習った方が
They should have been properly qualified before they started teaching. Students who study with these people are wasting their time.
Are all of the Shito Ryu groups in existence today descended directly from your father or his senior students?
いえ、そうではございません。全然死闘流と何ら関係のない方が死闘流と言って、皆さん方に公にしております。
No, some of them have no connection with Shito Ryu, yet they claim they are teaching it.
だからもう現在は少しやった人が
This upsets me
市販されて
greatly.
いる空手のビデオとか本を見て、勉強しておそらく教えてると思うんです。だから私どもはそれじゃ何もならないと。もっと
These people learn from books and videos, then claim they are something to do with us. This is slanderous.
What would your advice be to today's instructors of any style who wish to teach traditional Japanese karate do?
そうですね。やはり型だけを覚えずに型を成立される基本
Not only learn kata movement, but the basic techniques that give the kata meaning. I want them to understand every small detail of the bunkai or applications.
What advice would you offer students, both the new student and those who have been training for a year or so?
そうですね。やはり真似事をせずに必ず道場で的確に先生の教えをよく守って
Not only copy, but understand and also retain the instruction.
慌てずにしっかりやることです。そうすると一つ一つ階段を上がるように
Step by step, one thing at a time. That's the way to learn karate.
Shito Ryu is your father's legacy to you. Since you have succeeded him, have you seen growth in your movement?
そうですね。やっぱり父親って私現在おそらく私も66歳ですがやっぱりまだまだ
I am only here because of my father, of course. I exist because of the glory of his name.
だけどもっと懸命に努力して
I am doing my best to spread karate, and still want to make even more effort to spread the karate that my father, Funakoshi Sensei, and Miyagi Sensei left to us.
The Dragon Associates website features everything from fast-breaking news to a martial arts store, information on the latest videos to back issues of Dragon Times and Fighting Arts magazine. For information you can depend on from the best instructors and martial arts writers in the world, visit us on the World Wide Web at